Hey, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. All around, welcome. I'm Carrieblogger, a career freelancer on Fiverr.com, where I've been selling as a Fiverr Pro verified copywriter for about the past 7 years. And in today's Freelance Friday video, I'm going to be talking about a response to a question I received on a previous video, protecting your own work and digital privacy, is that the right word? How to protect your work from theft and how to not get thieved as a shopper and a seller. Okay, does that make sense? Please be sure to like and subscribe for Freelance Friday videos every single Friday. And if you have a question or a comment for a future video, please be sure to put that down below and I will think about it. And if it's something interesting that I feel like I can share my thoughts on, you might see it answered in a future video. So let's dive in. I don't have screenshots because I am not the kind of person who just screen records my life. So no screenshots, I'll just kind of talk through what has happened to me personally with people stealing my stuff, kind of stealing my identity in some ways, how I've dealt with it, and then kind of some suggested recommendations for as a shopper and seller how to protect yourself, because the internet can be a dark and dangerous place, but together we can brighten it up a little bit. My stuff has been stolen, namely my pictures, my username in one case, my videos of myself talking, and my descriptions of what I use to sell my gigs. And these were all copied in different ways on different places by different people. It was not just one isolated incident. It, for a while, was just like driving me crazy. But anyway, it did happen a lot more than it ever should have, and it was really annoying. One that was the most annoying, and I don't even know how I found it, it was on like a fake Fiverr, and there are so many fake Fiverr sites. Like, I'm not anti making different platforms to facilitate collaboration and coming up with new and innovative things, but when people are trying to like literally create a fake Fiverr and then also copy Fiverr profiles to a fake Fiverr, like that was a big heck no. But they had stolen my username, so they said it was Carrieblogger, and they'd taken my picture and it said it was my picture, and then they were trying to list my gigs on the site, but the site was like so poorly made, and there was like 10 profiles, a bunch of fake reviews, but clearly like I couldn't even actually get that one taken down because I couldn't get in contact with the company. I'm pretty sure they were the ones who did it anyway. It wasn't like an individual. So even if I did, I honestly don't believe that they would have done anything about it. And because I wasn't in that country, I couldn't make an account. And I didn't care to like express VPN it and pretend I was there and whatever. Like, it was way too much because clearly they're not going to make $1 million pretending to be me. It's just really annoying, more than even a threat. It was just so annoying. And then on Fiverr, it was equally annoying because people were not stealing my username, because clearly I have that. They weren't even stealing my picture. They were primarily just copy and pasting my description for my gigs, which is so annoying because, as I have mentioned in a previous video, if you can't write for yourself, you are not a writer. I would just search for the name of my gig, and then I would just like right click every one that used the literal name of my gig, and then 6 out of 10 of those had also not only copied the name of my gig, but they had just blatantly copy and pasted my description. Dumb. In one case, the person had copied the video for it as well. And so in the start of my video, I say, "Hi, I'm Carrie, a top-rated seller here on Fiverr.com." Clearly that's not them. If they had like a different picture of them. He's not a top-rated seller. He was a new seller. And for some reason, I don't even think it was on Fiverr. I think it was on like Upwork. And so literally it was like strike, 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 not true. And so I guess the reason I keep saying that it was a really annoying and I was frustrated by it, but I wasn't like taking legal action, although I'm sure I could have. I don't actually know how. The thing is, they were shooting themselves in the foot. Like, none of these people were doing a good job of stealing my stuff. No one was effectively stealing my identity. A lot of people have reported those to me. So when I went down that big rabbit hole and found like 15 people who were all stealing my stuff at once, it was this big like, what's going on? I would get an email or an inquiry from a client, and they'd say, "Hey, I'm so interested in working with you. Just so you know, as I was looking for your, stuff, I found this other guy who says that he's you and he's stealing your stuff. So hey, heads up, you might want to deal with that." The people who were stealing the actual gig description, which they would just copy paste off my gig, great, and then they'd paste it on theirs. Most of the time, they would add something else that they wrote that was written so poorly that you could literally tell like what had been copy and pasted and what they were trying to like write. Strike one is being a thief. Strike two is being an unskilled thief. So the other half of the question that I received was, how did I deal with it? How did I get it taken down? And like I mentioned, in some cases I couldn't. In that weird like fake Fiverr thing, I couldn't. Hopefully my own metadata and SEO has boosted the real Carrieblogger up to the top, and they can just be on page 700 of Google. I don't know. But primarily I got things taken down by just one, messaging them, and I would be like, hey, it's the real Carrieblogger. Don't steal my stuff. And then almost always they would just immediately respond, oh my gosh, don't report me to Fiverr. I will be honest, I still reported them to Fiverr, because just because you took it down doesn't mean that you weren't breaking terms of service in the first place, doesn't mean you weren't respecting me and my work. It doesn't mean that you weren't intentionally scamming people, because clearly you are trying to sell writing skills with writing that is not your own, and that is misinforming the public. A couple people said basically, screw you, I'm allowed to plagiarize it, in which case I still send a message to customer service. And then of course some people just didn't respond. One person blocked me. Like my message to them, they blocked me for messaging them and saying, hey, don't steal my stuff. And then I didn't honestly keep track after that. I felt like I'd kind of done all I can do. And like I said, it's more of an annoyance than a real threat to my business. So that's how I've dealt with it in the past. But yeah, theft is a massive problem on the internet just in general. So how do you protect yourself as a shopper and a seller? We'll get right past the judgmental talk. As a shopper, I recommend that you check out that red flags video on Fiverr, or red flags on Fiverr video that I made. I think that looking through that can maybe help you see issues of people that you might choose to avoid when you're shopping online. But more than anything, it's just about doing your research and making sure that you kind of ask yourself two big questions. Number one, is it too good to be true? And number two, does it all add up? And as sellers, how do we protect our work? And honestly, it's hard. And it changes for different categories. So obviously protecting your work as a voiceover artist is going to be a different strategy than as a writer, a logo designer. If you're in data entry, you probably don't have to protect your work. So good for you. Well, I guess your gig description too. Yeah, we're all in the same boat here. Okay, you too. So personally, what I do for my portfolio, which I would be most concerned about people ripping off because it doesn't have like my name all over it and my face all over it. I personally have a different website, so it's carrieblogger.com. I want search priority in search. If someone's ever looked for Carrieblogger, I think that having my own website is a helpful metadata tool, and that also gets one more avenue that people could find me on the internet besides YouTube and Fiverr directly. I just think it's a unique thing that not many people are doing, and yet another validating way to see it could not be me. With that, I don't just post paragraphs on my website. All of the individual portfolio samples are actually formatted as pictures. That doesn't mean that someone can't just type out what they see in the picture. I mean, there's a million ways that you can go about stealing my stuff. Just please don't. But at the very least, it adds one little level of like, you know. You can also make sure to use Fiverr's watermark feature. If you're not using it, make sure you do. A watermark only does so much, but it does some. You can also just be proactive about looking for the content you think is stolen. And you could just search for your own gig, search for the keywords and stuff that you have. And if things pop up that's the same and copied, hey. And then message customer service, message the person. One more side note related to this, in terms of people like stealing your portfolio work or just getting stuff for free. I don't send out free test work. This was another comment I received on a previous video. If someone comes to me and they say, hey, I'm selling waist trainers, will you send me samples? Or, you know, do this for free. Do my first 300 words for free or whatever. And I'm like, okay, no. And then I send them my portfolio link. I have dozens of samples on there that are across a wide range of different categories. And so if they come back and say, yeah, but I need a waist trainer specific sample, then it's a big no. I'm not going to write a waist trainer specific sample because the odds are they're looking to rip off that content for themselves so that they don't actually have to pay for it. And even more so is so annoying when, especially people do this for like blogs, they'll say, hey, I'm interested in hiring a blog writer. And they'll say like, I need 15 blogs. So go ahead and just write the first one for me for free. P.S. I am, vetting 15 different people. And it's like, okay, but you're actually asking 15 people for free blogs so you can get your free 15 blogs. Like, let's be honest about what you're doing here. No, I don't give out work for free. I am very proud of my work. I believe in it, and I want to be compensated fairly. Is that too much to ask? I don't know. All right, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this content if you like it. I post every single Freelance Friday, and you can also join me for One Take Tuesdays, which are unedited, more chatty. If you're still here, you are my actual hero. Let's get back to work.